Third time at like trying to do this video, right? Third time's a charm. That's what they say. Okay, so the the girl I look after has been like watching all these videos on YouTube that are like 10 worst cartoons or 10 creepiest cartoons or whatever. And she did her own today, and I'm like, that's fine if you want to do that. I don't want to be like a negative Nancy or anything, so I'm gonna counter that with my list of 10 best cartoons, except my list turned out to be like 15 best cartoons because I'm indecisive and like I like a lot of stuff. So I've got a list of 15 best. And some of these came out when I was a kid and were on cable, and I didn't like I grew up without cable, so I didn't really see them until now, so they're like new to me, and I'm still like trying to figure out like if I really like them or and also this list is like just my opinion and just as of today, as of right now. It could change at any time, but here goes. Let's try and do this without incident this time. Number 15 on my list of like best cartoons is CatDog. And I just thought it was interesting because it's like cat and dog attached together and how they live together. And like people say that cats and dogs fight all the time. I mean, that's not really true, but they live differently. And I just thought the idea of like a cat and dog like being attached to one another and like trying to live together is like interesting because there's like cat interest of I don't know what cats are interested in, like killing everything, I guess, and the dog's interest of like trying to make everyone happy, because that's what dogs do. Number 14 is Phineas and Ferb, which is one that I actually didn't like when it first came out. I thought it was kind of stupid, and I thought it was poorly drawn. I still think it's poorly drawn, but I think it's one of like the smartest cartoons that I've seen. And like some of the stuff these kids do is like amazing, like blowing up an ant farm. So it's giant, and you can like go inside and have your big sister become queen of the ants. Number 13 is Recess. I guess I'm old. Um, but I really did like this program when I was a child. It was on Saturday morning cartoons, and I thought it was funny, and I thought the social structure of the playground was interesting, and there was like a king, and there was a kid named Gus, and I think I do identify with Gus, kind of. Number 12 is Ed, and Eddy, and that's kind of like more unsupervised children, and it's just crazy stuff. Like for kids, they do a lot of crazy stuff. Number 11 is Regular Show, and that's new. That's about animals in the park and I guess other creatures working in the park. There are also people, but it's really likable characters. I guess that's the theme of like the cartoons on this list is a lot of really likable characters. Number 10 is Doug, and like the Doug I'm most familiar with is the Disney version of Doug, which is, I don't know, I think it's pretty good. Because that's what I watched on Saturday mornings. I didn't really see the Nickelodeon Doug until I was older, but it's still a good cartoon. Number 9 is Pokemon. I mean, like, the first couple years of Pokemon, um, it's, like, not just about, like, battling animals, but also about, like, friends and Team Rocket. And when my friend watched it, like, he said that he felt like he should go out and, like, hug a bunch of people, and I told him, you go ahead and do that, but it's after midnight, so people are gonna think you're, like, some weirdo. Number 8 is Ren and Stimpy. It's kind of crude, and it's not something I would, like, let kids watch, but I think it's amazing how, like, one person did all the voices in that show. Number 7 is Adventure Time, and I know some people are going to be surprised that it's not higher up on the list, but there were just so many. Jake is a really realistic portrayal of a dog, and I don't know, sometimes I wish I could go on adventures like Ben and Jake. I kind of wish that world was, yeah, I wish a lot of worlds, like a lot of cartoon worlds were real, and I could just go live in them sometimes, but Adventure Time is pretty cool. It's, again, like a lot of really likable characters. Number 6 is Batman the Animated Series. It came out like in the early 90s. I was very small when it came out. I enjoyed it, even though I'm not like the biggest comic book reader. We didn't really have comic books in my house, but we had Batman action figures and stuff, and it's beautifully done animation. I mean, it's very, not pretty, but I guess that's what, like, Gotham City should look like as a cartoon. It's kind of dark, and, there's a Japanese anime called Big O that was made by the same studio, and it's very similar looking, and, it's a good show. Even if you're not, like, the biggest comic book fan, it's still, like, a good show. Number 8 is SpongeBob's, no, number 5, jeez. Number 5 is Spongebob Squarepants. This is something I could watch all day. I love Squidward. I think Squidward is awesome. I think Gary the Snail is the best pet. And I, I just think some of it is, like, amazing. I mean, I know, like, a lot of it, you can't do that at the bottom of the ocean. You can't eat ketchup at the bottom of the ocean. I guess you could. It would be all watery and stuff. Okay. Number 4 is like PBS Kids Arthur. Yeah, I know it's like a PBS Kids, so it's probably supposed to be a little kids program, but it's kind of funny. Even as an adult, it's funny. It's, you know, Arthur's dog pal, like talking to babies and sometimes getting a bit existentialist, and Mr. Ratburn's bad puns, and it's like Arthur's parents being old, and it's a good show. Um, Number 3 is Chowder. It's a town full of food, a town that's all about food, and it it's really funny, and I don't know, bad puns about food. Number 2 is Pepper Ann. This came out when I was, I think, in 6th or 7th grade, and she was supposed to be too cool for 7th grade. And I wanted to be just like her, but I think I was a bit more like her shy friend, whose name I can't remember now because I don't remember things. And number 1 is like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I don't know. I grew up with this. My brother and I had the action figures, and we would play turtles, and we would pretend to be turtles, and I was usually Donatello because I wanted to be Raphael because he was the more aggressive one, and sometimes, playing with dumb boys makes you want to be aggressive, but I was usually Donatello because the kid across the street wanted to be Raphael, and of course my brother wanted to be Michelangelo, and no one wanted to be Leonardo, and Donatello was into, like, science and stuff, so I was like, okay, I could be Donatello. And it's turtles, and it's kind of sad that, like, when they put out the new cartoons, there's, like, weird stuff. I guess there's gonna be a new Turtles cartoon coming out soon. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. The one from 2007 was pretty terrible bad. Um, but that's it. That's my list of cartoons that I think are the 15 best. Um, I'm sorry if your favorite cartoon wasn't on that list, but it's all just my opinion, and thank you so much if you stuck it out to the end of this video and watched it, and I will type the name of the tunes so you can maybe watch them. Alright? Thank you so much. Bye. Yay.